Beth, thank you so much for joining me today for this quick Q&A session. So question number one, does a winner wear a crown and how do you spot one?
So I think, yes, a winner does wear one, but I don't think it's visible from others. I think it's a bit of self-belief and confidence that starts to shine through. And I think the ability as well to reach out to others becomes a lot more prevalent alongside that. And actually, I really liked the way that Tammy described it as well in a previous video that you did as well about that kind of shining light. And it really resonates because I think very similar. So yeah, I think they do, and it's all about then how they portray themselves within the industry and with what they're doing. But you don't need to win an award to be a winner. For me, it sounds really cheesy, but the taking part, because it means you're putting yourself out there, you're sharing your knowledge, and really wanting to network with others.
There's something about networking, isn't it? I think, especially from the Change Awards perspective, because obviously the event is all about networking, and I've heard wonderful stories from people like yourself, networking with different winners and talking about and talking about essentially the issues and problems that you have in relevant fields and building up that profession.
Absolutely. And that network kind of moves into more of a community feel.
So I did this little survey some time ago on LinkedIn, tiny survey. 15% of people who have taken part in that survey, however, they've responded that they don't feel that they are good enough to apply for an award. And I do wonder, what would you tell them?
It's definitely something I can relate to, and actually something I've discussed with some of the other award winners, where you get imposter syndrome as well. It's like, am I any good, or is it just about the way that we write things, and do you need to be really eloquent? So my advice is go for it. You're definitely not going to win anything if you don't put in a nomination, but even to be recognised within that environment and that circle, please do put in a nomination. It's such a credible cause for what we're trying to do and raise the profile around change. And I think a lot of people within our kind of profession don't realise how good they are. And I would really encourage others to be able to just articulate what you do. If you don't win anything, then what's it cost? It's been about 5 minutes of your time, but actually you can gain so much more out of it. So I would really encourage anybody to think about it. Ignore the little gremlin that sat on your shoulder and just go for it.
Ignore the gremlin. I love that. I'm going to write it down and put it on a post-it note for me, because I actually also have a gremlin somewhere. All right, okay. And Beth, you are obviously a winner. Actually, you have 2 statuettes from us, 2 trophies, both very heavy. Also this year you have joined the judging committee. So there is quite a lot of commitment from you when it comes to Change Awards. And you are obviously also working, so you're a professional. But why do you support the Change Awards despite having, busy life?
Yeah, and I've deliberately carved time out for this. I got into change management because it was something that I was really passionate about, and making sure that we look after each other within a working environment, and doing things the right way. And that means through engagement. It means through keeping people involved, not just informed. And all of the other kind of behavioural side that goes alongside change management. You hear it a lot being described within PM as, is it science or an art? And yes, there is a science to it, but it's massively about the art. And we need to recognise that. And within the industry, change management's been around for a couple of decades now, but it's still really new for a lot of areas. So I want to kind of shine the spotlight on it, get it recognized as a proper profession. It's not just a fad that's going to disappear overnight. Give it that credibility. I think the organizations that are involved, like Investigo, and other places that won last year, even into the public service area, shows that this is a recognized profession. And give the opportunity then to give that credibility and that recognition to the individuals as well. It is not an easy job. You hear on a lot of professions around, I love people, but I hate people. And I think this kind of falls into one of those areas. And you get some real satisfaction when you can start driving through some of the improvements and you get people really excited about what you're doing. The award scheme for me is exactly the same. And with it being independent as well, it takes away all of the bias, opens up many different opportunities for people to nominate, whether it's an individual or as an organisation. So, yeah, kind of tags on to the first question, just go for it. And I think the self-belief that you get from it afterwards as well is huge. So credibility to the profession, recognition for those who aren't recognised anywhere else, and where you can get to meet like-minded people. And you alluded earlier, I still meet up on a regular basis now with a couple of the award winners. We've just gone into that kind of friendly group where we're constantly sharing, which I don't think was ever foreseen when the Change Awards first got launched last year.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic to know that this is happening and people are talking to one another and creating those groups and pursuing the future of the profession. I love that. So from your perspective as a winner, what difference has it made to you, as in to you, Beth, to your career? Has it made any difference winning that award, or life is as normal?
I think last year I suddenly became really busy. So I had a few public events that I was either facilitating or hosting, which was amazing and certainly not an opportunity I would have had otherwise. I think for me personally, and go back to the gremlin on my shoulder, it made some of that go away. I don't think you'll ever make it all go away, but made me really believe in what I'm doing out here. Yeah, I'm not doing a bad job actually. And I've got to make some genuine friends out of the whole scheme as well. And I've taken that away. I've also just on a knock-on event. So I held a session for the APM conference last year, and on the back of that, I got to meet Tammy Watchorn, and on the back of that, we're now looking at L&D opportunities within our business and other things. So it's just snowballed out, and has given me a lot more satisfaction than what I would have normally done without it. So I am really pleased to get involved, and as a consequence I'm bringing my entire team to the Change Awards this year because I really want them to have the similar experience.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
and I'm really looking forward to see them.
You will indeed. Yeah, they will be with us. One person's in Japan, so can't make it, but everybody else will be with us. We're looking forward to a good evening.
Oh wow. Okay, and the last quick question then. I hope it's quick, but I know it's never quick. In 30 seconds, what is the future of change management?
I think it's going to evolve an awful lot. So historically, I think change management was based on organizational change, and that is never going to go away, but we're going to go more and more into digital, which naturally means we're going to go more into applied intelligence and what that's going to mean to us. And I know there are some people who will be thinking, well, does that mean we won't be needed anymore because you can press a button and get a load of information instead? Absolutely not. This is about humans working with humans. But what it will do is help keep our skill set live but it'll give us a new area to go into. And I'm really interested to see how we can start to drive EQ and EI out of AI, because otherwise you're on a single route that's very much like a production factory rather than the richer, more interesting areas. So I'm really looking forward to that, and how that then changes change management and how we apply it and how we do it, because that's going to be, I think, a massive step changer going forwards. Really looking
The
forward
future
to
is
it.
bright.
Yes,
Future is
indeed.
bright.
Yeah.
That's the most important. All right, Beth, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time today. I very much appreciate that.
No worries. Good to talk to you again.